Afternoon, everybody. This is Dee Reinhardt with Illinois WorkNet, and on the call with me today is Olivia Miller. It's still hard for me to say that, Olivia. And I am looking for Tammy. She happens to be in Florida right now with her family, so she may call in hopefully in time for us to get her included in this. So welcome, everybody. I'm glad you could join us today. We have a pretty big agenda here to talk about. So let's get started. Please check in real quickly if you have not already. We did hear from one organization that's not going to be able to be here, so that's right, Eric. All right, so I'm going to pull up the numbers, and I'm going to pull this over. We're going to make it a little bit smaller so we can see everything. All right, so I did these this afternoon, so they're pretty close to accurate. On the application not started, there's some big numbers on a couple of these agencies. Now, one of the things that we are trying to make sure happens is if the customers were a no-show for their intake orientation, that they're tracking into the right line on the dashboard. So if you have a customer who has not completed the application, well, and that's what I'm talking about, Eric. We've got some that you need to have that 2151 uploaded if they are a no-show. So if they're still showing in your list of numbers, you need to let us know who they are so that we can look at the cases to make sure that they're moving properly. So if you've got numbers in there that were a no-call, if they were a no-show or a referral rejected, you need to send an email to me and Olivia, copy both of us, so that if one of us gets to it before the other, then we can get these numbers taken care of for you. Because we know that these numbers could be off, but we need to make sure that we're tracking the right things. Okay, so 2151 past due. This could have something to do with a few of those numbers, but those are for any appointment, not only new cohort. They are for the re-engaged customers as well. Enrollment required. Those are happening if you have uploaded a 2151, but you have not marked the customer as enrolled. And one of the items that we had locked down is that if the customer is not, if their application is not completed, you will not be able to enroll them. So please make sure that they're completing the application. And I know I've been working with some of you about getting passwords for the customers, and it is, it's tedious for both of us, but we got to make sure that they're working the right way. 2151A past due, these are for customers who have become re-engaged in most cases since it's the middle of the month. And you guys, I saw a 0 one day right after the beginning of the month, so you guys were all in good shape. So these are just a few odds and ends that need to be updated. So D'Amico, the passwords are provided when you submit a person as long as you are submitting a brand new account. What's happening in some cases is customers had an Illinois WorkNet account prior to you inviting them to the intake, to the reverse referral, and so we have to make sure that there's only one active account for a customer. That's when the passwords don't work properly. Okay. Minimal progress, no progress. There's just a couple in there. No situation worse. Completion status, we've got some 1s and 2s. If you guys can take care of those items, that would be super phenomenal. And then SNAP ineligible, there's a few in there, a couple 1s and 2s that you need to handle. We are working on making sure that the new cohort customers are included in the staffing report. And if, again, on a case-by-case basis, if you do not see one of your new cohort customers in the staffing report tool as you are trying to do your staffings for the month, please let us know, because we have to make sure that those are tracking properly as well. Once your dashboard, well, that's good, Bill. Once we get the staffing report tool done, our next project will be working on the benchmark report to make sure that all the new cohort customers are showing up in there. And then after the benchmark, then the ISTEP. And then after the ISTEP, the rest of the less important reports will be updated as well. Okay, so I just talked about a couple of our updates. Oh, something's wrong. Okay. Bill, let's take a look after the call, okay? Call my home office number, and we'll take a look and see what's going on. Sorry, I thought you were bragging. Okay. Applications not complete row. Let me get into and show you my screen. Uh-oh. All right. All right, so now let me move my screen over. Check in real quick while I have it uncovered. All right, can everybody see my screen? Raise your hand, please. Good, okay. All right, that's good. All right, so now on here, what we've done, in case you weren't following what I was talking about a little bit ago on the applications, we've got this row right here that says application not started. Let me make it bigger. Is that better? It's as big as I can get it and still keep everything on the screen. On here, we've got application not started. So right now I've got 209. On here, we've got a new row that says application incomplete, no contact, or referral rejected. So this is what I was talking about. If you see a customer in this application not started number up here, my 209, it'll be smaller for you, and they should be in this application incomplete, no contact, or referral rejected because you uploaded a 2151 with those reasons, let us know. Send an email to me and Olivia so that one of us can get it taken care of for you. All right. Next item on the agenda is customer communication protocol. We had an issue with a customer, and one of our agencies contacted the CBO, I'm sorry, the DHS office, and it was handled a little bit inappropriately. So what we need to do from now on is you need to send Olivia and I a communication about your customer issues. We will share it with Deidre and her team, and then Deidre and her team will forward it out to the offices. So Kendrea asked, so we need to upload a 2151, only a 2151 if they were rejected. Yes, Kelsey, they do. Okay, so communicating with DHS, we if you're having an issue with a customer, if something doesn't seem right or if something seems amiss, you need to send Olivia and I an email. We will forward it on to Deidre so that she can follow up with the offices so that she knows what's going on and has some accountability for them. So just send your information to us. Anila's having the same issue as Bill. Olivia, do you want to look into this while we're on the call and maybe have Jonathan see what's going on?
Yeah, what is it with the dashboard if they're all zeros?
Bill doesn't have any numbers showing, and neither does Anila.
Yeah, I will.
Both of them are control group providers, so I'm wondering if it has something to do with that.
Okay.
Because
yeah,
I gave them access to the control group, and I told him that if they were only control group providers, that they were not supposed to see any other dashboard numbers. So that could have something to do with it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start taking a look into that, and then we can just fill in the minutes later.
And Two Rivers is the same thing. They're also a
both providers.
Yes, and as their control group only, or their control group and treatment group.
Okay.
All right, so Eric is saying, can we have a general idea of what something amiss means?
Like if you were to, like if the customer comes in and says, oh, I get TANF benefits, but their SNAP eligibility is marked as SNAP eligible. Or if something's like a little funky, the information you're getting from the customer and that we have an Epic isn't lining up.
And these are pretty much new cohort customers, not the existing ones, because the existing customers have already been in and out. And if you really have a question, call one of us first. Yeah, conflicting issues. Somebody's maybe is way over age or is underage compared to everybody else that you're getting, or if just something just seems wrong. Something seems wrong, then you want to get in touch with us. All right, next item is a Tammy item. So, Olivia, do you want to talk about the benchmark report updates? And I will check on to see if Tammy's in the queue here. So I stopped sharing my screen if you want to share yours with the document. Are you on mute, Olivia? Oh,
yeah, sorry. Sorry, I was on mute. The benchmark report updates have not been approved by Commerce yet. Is that
okay.
what the ones we were talking about earlier this week?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to provide any too much information on that. I worked with Tammy. We're going to make some updates to the benchmark report to pull in some additional customers. But I'm sending that through Commerce because we have to get approval from them, making sure that we're counting all the benchmarks properly. Just a little overview of kind of what we're looking at for these updates. Right now, the benchmark report is only pulling in customers who are either in progress of completing a training program or who have successfully completed a training program. What we're going to be doing is we're going to also be counting customers who are marked as unsuccessful completions. You will get credit for them if they are, for the enrolling them in training. You will not get credit for them successfully completing the training, but you'll get that enrolled credit. which it's right now it's not counting that, but it will. We also discussed we're going to be adding in work site placement, work experience as a benchmark that will count. So if your customers complete work experience, that'll count as an enrollment in the academic training. And if they successfully complete all the work experience, that'll count as a benchmark for completing the academic services. So that will help increase the benchmarks you guys are reaching and hopefully pull in a couple other customers to align with your benchmarks for enrolled in academic services and completed academic services. The other thing that I need to get more information on is making sure that on-the-job training would also count as a benchmark. So it would be either complete a training program, do on-the-job training, or complete work experience, and all three of those would count as academic service. But as I said, that we got everything updated. I got everything mocked up and a document put together for how the update would affect the report. But that was just sent to Commerce a few days ago. Tammy is out all this week. But we need them to look over and make sure everything is correct and get approval for that before it's set in stone that that's the way we're going to do everything.
Okay. And one of the things that we wanted to show you is about work experience and reflecting work experience in workplace skills so that if we get this work experience completion information included that I'm trying to get Tammy to be on the call for, then you'll need to know how to get that added. I still don't see her having dialed in, so I'm going to just remind you again. Eric doesn't what automatically update when you add them to a work experience? The step in the ISTEP? Yeah, in the Workplace Skills tab it does, but not the step on the ISTEP. So if you are on career planning and you have a customer, you can add a step here under work experience only for a customer. For this to count, you need to have the 4 staff-assisted steps for that customer. But if you give them work experience, did we also include OJT on the academic step, Olivia? That's where we added it, correct?
Yes. You are correct.
All right. So on here, if you are completing work experience on this space under the academic, that will also help with tracking for the work experience. So if you give them a work experience and it shows up on the Workplace Skills tab here, which is what Eric was just typing about, then this does not automatically move into either the academic skills or the career planning. And one of the things that we were talking to, you pick one or the other. So if they did academic otherwise, Eric, you would pick the work experience in the academic and technical skills. If they are not doing any academic training, then you would pick the one in the career planning. Yes, because that's where we track the payroll. Kelsey asks, does Workplace Skills tab have any tracking value? And yes, we track the payroll out of the Workplace Skills tab for the customer.
You can also use the Workplace Skills tab in the Review Information section to find information on their past work experience and all that kind of information as well.
And why isn't payroll tracked in payroll? it is in the workplace skills. Remember, Kelsey, this was a pilot project, and we're incorporating some of the things that we're finding are kind of confusing from this program into global workNet to make it better. And then if anything goes with sustainability moving forward for the DHS program, then we will make all of this much more smoother and much more interactive as we're going forward. So we appreciate all of your patience in here to make sure that all of these things are in the right places. So as long as I continue to upload it in payroll, it should transfer over. Yes and no.
Yeah, so the work experience tab, if you click to add a step, it will take you to work experience. So everything, you're not adding really anything to the workplace skills tab. If you try to add something there by clicking the add step on workplace skills, it's going to take you to the payroll page, but it'll pull in your payroll history on that page. So if you're in the ISTEP, you don't have to go completely out of it to find their work experience information. Just making sure it's all easily available to you guys in one spot.
And so we just need to make sure that you've got the step in here, and then it goes to the work experience. So you've got to have this information entered for the step. That's a Tammy project, the approving payroll. That's a Tammy question, Kelsey. So that's something you're going to have to pass by her.
Yeah, if you guys have any payrolls that are not approved, I would just send Tammy an email and let her know and see when she's planning on doing that. She is out on vacation, but she'll be back on Monday. You might want to wait until Monday to send that email.
Actually,
so it doesn't
you might want to wait till Tuesday.
Yeah, because if you send it now, it'll probably get buried by the time she actually gets back in.
All right. They may have, Carmen. So, but neither Olivia or I deal with any of the money issues. I feel much better not handling any money issues. All right. Okay. So now on our next agenda item.
I have a quick question for Bill and everybody that's having the dashboard issues. I am not getting zeros when I log in as you guys. Is there something you're doing that's getting those zeros to populate? Are you like filtering it a specific way? I'm assuming you're on the enrolled dashboard.
Without filtering.
What about you, Bill? Same thing?
Kelsey, I don't know.
Your dashboard says control?
Yeah, so that's the whole issue. He's only seeing control now, so Jonathan has to fix their access so that they have access to control and to enroll and work sites.
I went directly to the enrolled dashboard link, so the enrolled dashboard came up for me. But yeah, if I click just on the dashboard thing, it takes me to the control one. I'll let Jonathan know, and that should be a quick update that he should be able to get out by the end of the day today or first thing tomorrow if he doesn't have time to push it to production. I'm going to put the link to the enrolled dashboard in the chat for you guys, just in case you need to get to it immediately. You'll still have the access to get to your enrolled dashboard.
All right.
And Dee, I'm going to be on mute for just a minute, and then I'll be back on the line.
Okay. Updates, I am going to tell you, we've kind of covered most of the updates that we've done. Let's see, we have the new row in the application status that we already talked about. We've moved all customers. Every single customer is now reporting to a specific office. So now if you look at your dashboard, once you get access to it again, for some of you, you'll see that they are now associated with Englewood or South Suburban or Roseland or one of the other offices that had been a feeder office. So now all customers will be directly reporting to their particular office. We are almost ready to push to production the control group information. We need to still enter some data. You may see it if you have access to it, but otherwise it's not quite ready to do anything with. And then on the customer view, and I don't want to go live with this, but on the customer view in the reason area, let me see if I can pull up test to show you. On the invitation process in test, you can go to the customers, go to invite tab. You will see all of the customers that you have invited, and it will show you the verification request sent. They're eligible and exempt. They are not able to verify. And then if you click on the reason, the view, if you click on the view, you will be able to see the reason why they are not able to verify. Or if they are not eligible, you'll be able to see the reason why. So that is something now that you can see from the dashboard as well as from the document itself. So those are most of the updates. Let me double check to make sure that I'm not missing one. Oh, Social Security number errors. One of the things that will be happening, if it's not already for you, if you forward a customer, if you reverse refer a customer and the Social Security number is wrong, they will bounce it back and say not able to verify with Social Security number. If they speak with you about who the customer was supposed to be, and maybe you were just you just displaced two numbers, maybe it was the last two numbers were transposed, then there will be we'll get a new invitation issued, and the other invitation will be eliminated if it already mentions or refers to a customer who has that Social Security number. So Olivia said Jonathan is already working on the dashboard issue, so that's good. Correct. Yes, we don't want them to see control group dashboard yet. Perhaps tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, that's what I told Jonathan, just not quite right yet.
Yeah.
But he'll get all your other dashboards back, so you'll get, you know, your assessment, your ISTEP, your enrolled, all those good things will come back.
All right, so now, because the 4th of July would be our next call, we are not going to have our call next on the 4th of July. We are going to have our every other Wednesday call next Wednesday on the 27th. So please make sure, and we will be talking about the cost study data workbook. So please make sure that you have whoever needs to deal with that cost study data on that call next Thursday or next Wednesday. And I still don't see Tammy, so we will get a comment from her about the completion information, and we will get that included on the in the notes. All right, so thanks for joining us today, everybody.
I have one more thing to add.
Okay.
Just so you all know, we are looking to do some success story videos for our EPIC customers.
Right.
We would really like to get a list of customers from you guys. If you have some customers who did really good or some customers who really came a long way who are really wanting to share their stories, please send a list of those customers to Dee and I, and we'll pass them on to the appropriate people. As many CBOs as we can get with these success story videos would be perfect. We're going to be traveling around and having these videos done professionally, so they'll be really good and look really good on the EPIC program and all of our CBOs and DHS staff who worked really, really hard to make this program possible.
So Kendra, if you have two already, just get us their names and contact information, and then we will have our videographer talk to them, schedule a time to talk to them. And we're going to try to schedule I know Chicago is going to be one of the big pieces, so we'll probably have at least 3 or 4 days in Chicago. Maybe not all together, maybe different times, but then we'll get to the other areas as well. All right. Thanks for remembering about that, Olivia. I didn't have it written down, so I totally forgot.
I saw it in my old minutes, so I was like, got to wrap this in here.
Yes. All right. So now, Bill, I don't think you need to call me now. Is that correct? Oh, and by the way, for the videos, if you don't already have it from the customer, we will need a release for us to share their information. Okay. Bill, we're going to get your dashboard fixed, so I think that's why you were going to call me afterwards. Okay. We'll still have our videographers re-record everything so that it all has the same look and feel. Unless, okay, all right. All right, we'll get these notes and the recording out as soon as we can. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Happy summer tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first day of summer. We'll talk next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Bye for now.